Welcome back, guys. So, we are discussing the components of system global area. In our last video, we have talked about database buffer cache. Okay, so now we are going to talk about redo log buffer. It's also an important component of system global area. Okay, so what's that? We'll be discussing that. So the redo log buffer is an essential memory area within the system global area. Okay, in Oracle database, it temporarily stores redo entries which record all the changes made to the database. Okay, if you made any change to the database, that gets stored in here. Okay, these redo entries are later written to the redo log files by the log writer process. Okay, what you have, if you made changes to the uh, if you made changes to the database, okay, those get saved in uh, dirty data blocks, which is in database buffer cache. Okay, those data blocks are being written to the uh, uh, drives or your database with the help of db writer. The same logs are written to the redo log files for the same uh, data blocks which are being written. The logs for that are saved in redo log files, and those will be written to the redo logs with the log writer process. Okay, all changes. Okay, so providing durability and enabling database recovery in event of crash. So okay, so if in case when these dirty blocks are not written to the database, okay, these dirty blocks are with the database buffer cache which are inside, these do not get written to the database. So those will be use these redo log buffers, redo log files will be used to uh, recover those transactions, and then will these redo logs, by applying these redo log files, we'll be able to get those dirty data blocks, and then we can then those can be applied to the database, and then we'll be able to get to the consistent situation for the database. So what are the redo log buffer size and tuning? So default size for the redo log buffer is determined by the log buffer, which is the initialization parameter for the database. Okay. Impact of buffer size. If the redo log buffer is too small, frequent flushes may need to occur for this redo log buff files, which can lead to performance bottlenecks. On the other hand, allocating excessive memory to the redo log is not efficient and could waste resources. So we may need to um, allocate mm, amount which is useful, or which after very brief discussion with our team, or what's the load of the data on this database server. Okay, so on that basis we need to allocate the size of redo log buffer. Tuning: the size of the redo log buffer should be large enough to handle the transaction volume without excessive flushing, but not too small. So you need to be if you have earlier decided some other parameter for redo log buffer, but now you are seeing a lot of transactions for the database, then you can tune that based on your needs. So what are the key functions of the redo log buffer? Capture changes. Every DML, data manipulation language, you already know that insert, update, deletes are DMLs, and other database changes generate redo entries, okay, which are stored in the redo log buffer before being written to disk. Okay, once those are dirty blocks are being written to the disk, those will be moved out of redo log files, and if you have archive logs enabled, those will be saved to archive logs. Okay, we'll be discussing the redo logs, archive logs in detail in our later videos. Durability and recovery. The redo log ensures that even in the event of an instance crash, all changes can be recovered using the stored redo entries, like what we discussed already. This is the part of Oracle's acid properties. which is atomicity, consistency, isolation, and durability. We'll be seeing this in my another video. Okay, what are acid properties? Or you can just Google it. Log writer process. This is also the log writer process is responsibility of writing redo log entries from the redo log buffer to the online redo log files onto the disk. Okay, so we'll be discussing this in detail in our next videos. It writes data to the redo log files when a commit operation is issued, a log switch occurs, and the redo log buffer is one third full. So a checkpoint is triggered. Then these log files is uh, uh, written redo entries from the redo log buffer. Okay, so this is redo log buffer. We'll be discussing the shared pool in our next video. Okay, thank you. I'll be seeing you in the next video.